I saw another day, only to scream into the night. Nothing ever tries to change, even if I want to realize. 'Cause I've been sitting here, same old ways, taking off without the same mistake. Darling, will you go away? It won't be as simple for you.
Yo, guys, it's Old Man G here. I'm back for a brief, reaction to the Manchester United fixture list. I know the Italy game is about to start, but I just thought I would get this in. So if you're new to the channel and if you're going to be watching later, remember to like, share, and subscribe to Red Devil Studio. Follow us on Twitter, we are on X, smash the notification button, plays up Manchester United news. Hopefully everyone's enjoying those brief match reactions to Euro games and Copa America games. We're going to be doing a live show around about 10 o'clock GMT time. We're going to be reviewing a lot of the Euro and Copa America games and then looking forward to obviously match day 2. So stay tuned to our match day 2 Euro preview at 10 o'clock. It is going to be great. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Shout out to IMAX Football and chat. Really appreciate it. If everyone is watching, please head over to his channel and like and subscribe. It means a lot. So yeah, you know, Don Raga, can we enjoy the Euros without being reminded of Manchester United and Smeagol? Yeah, bro. Well, I would not normally, but I thought it was best to at least look at the fixtures and like plan Manchester United's fate. So I'm gonna have a quick look here. I'm gonna see if I can zoom up here a bit to have a look at our fixtures because they did come out. So the Premier League is back on August the 14th. So looking at some of these games, so let's just get stuck into it. I mean, first let me know everyone's thoughts. So let me just quickly have a quick sorry, 2 seconds. All right, I'm gonna just share this on Twitter because you have to do these things now. There we go. We are live. There we go. Okay, Raymond. Shout out to Raymond, actually. Long time no see, Raymond. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Thank you for coming into the chat. So let me get straight into it. Sorry, I've been so first game of the season is the 14th of March against Leeds United, which is going to be tough, actually, if you think about it. Given the fact that we struggled against them last time we played Ellen Road, and this is at home, and I don't know what's going to happen, but I like to think that, you know, our last home game against Leeds was great, but we got 6-2, but you know, away from home was pretty dire. So I like to think that we've kind of gotten over it, but I don't know. I really don't know, because Bielsa seemed to have. I think Bielsa's a good coach, and he seemed to figure out the fact that actually, you know what, if I just don't send players forward and bomb off and all the rest of it, we might actually get something on this Manchester United side. And we got frustrated in that game, and it is what it is. I'm actually going to hand this fixture to Ollie. He thought it was a list of cocktails at the United Copa Bar. Don Raggan, man, never ceases to impress, man, with that humor, man. I've missed it, by the way. Hope you're doing well as well, man. So Leeds, Southampton, Wolves, Newcastle, West Ham. Now, to be honest, those first 5 games not that bad. You know, last season we did beat Leeds, Southampton, Wolves, obviously new coach, Newcastle, and West Ham. We have 2 of those games actually at home. And we did beat Leeds and Newcastle, if I recall, at home at the start anyway. And then we obviously have Wolves, Southampton, and West Ham away, all of which we actually won away from home. And obviously our away form has been pretty good. So I can't really complain. I can't really complain. That's for those first 5 games. I think they're reasonable games. As we look into September, you've got obviously Aston Villa afterwards, which will be a bit tight. Then in October, you've got, well, see, October, November. Now, see, October, November look like the killer months. And if we are going to be in for any sort of challenge or title or whatever we're supposed to be doing next season, because quite frankly, unless we sign someone like Jalen, well, unless we make major signings, Sancho, Varane, and all the rest of it, then I don't see. I legit don't see how we're going to do well in this season, aside from potentially just getting top 4, because I think that Arsenal and Spurs are more of a mess than we are, and Brendan Rodgers is still questionable at times. So I would probably think that with this squad we can probably get another top 4 out of it, but that's it as far as I'm concerned, because Manchester United and the board have not shown any real commitment to really spend big to get key signings for us to push on further to win a title. Putting that aside, because that'll be in a sort of a previous team towards the end of the season. Shout out to Rasmus, man. Long time no see, Rasmus. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Glad to see that you're around. I know you haven't been here for a while, but really hope you're doing well. It's good. I'm seeing some of the old gang. Raymond, Don, Magna, Rasmus, man. Where have you guys all been, man? It's good to see you guys. So that October month, I think that October month for me is where it gets real. I think October is where it gets real. And I think that in 8 games, you've got Everton, Leicester, Liverpool, Spurs, City, Watford, Chelsea, and Arsenal. I mean, that's ridiculous. That is actually ridiculous. That is literally, it's ridiculous. We pretty much play every single top team, like the top 7, let's put it that way, in October, November. Now, what I would say, and I'll scroll on to later, score later, is that like it means that our December will be quite one. But I just want to react to that October, November, guys, October, November. That surely can't be right. Everton, Leicester. Okay, yes, we beat Everton. I think that's so home at Everton. No, so home at Everton this season we drew. Leicester away we drew. Liverpool at home we lost. Spurs away we won. City at home we drew. Watford weren't there. Chelsea away we drew, and Arsenal at home we lost. So just think about that for 1 second. Just think about that for a second. Like all of those results, the only one in October, November where we won was Spurs away. Every other game, so Spurs away, so 3 points. At home to Liverpool, we lost. Leicester away, we drew. Everton at home, we drew, so that's 5. Man City at home, we drew. Watford weren't there. Chelsea away we drew, and Arsenal won. So we basically got 7 points from 8 for potentially 7 games, 1 point a game. If we got that score tally or that point tally this time around, we're not even going to be anywhere near. We're going to be in the bottom of the table. We are. Unless it's evening breaking news, you play everyone twice. One. Be quiet, be quiet. But I'm sure we'll be doing a collab around in the October time. But I mean, this is unfair. This is unfair, surely. United needing to see CDM, another number 10 because Bruno equals low, and a proper centre back and a one-way plane ticket for Ollie. I would say that I would add to that. Although I think that you could alternate between Pogba and Van der Beek potentially there. I wouldn't say we need a number 10. I definitely think that we need a CDM and a centre back. I would argue possibly a right back to compete with Wan-Bissaka. And obviously Sancho, right winger, because we do need because as much as I love Greenwood, he's not a right winger as well. As for the wine playing ticket, Ollie, unfortunately, is going to be renewed with a new contract on. What do you mean, go? They spend money. Yeah, Tom Heaton, man. Tom Heaton. Yeah, that is our signing. That is a signing. Tom Heaton is the GOAT. From what I was told, Tom Heaton is definitely the GOAT. So yeah, that October, November is going to be absolutely brutal. So as far as I'm concerned, we'll know whether we're in a title race or possibly even a top 4 race by the end of November this year, because all of those teams will be pretty much in and around top 4 competing for the title. We can't get. I would expect from those if we want the title, and I know the board don't because they're clueless. I'd expect at least. That's 8, so that's 24 points. So I'd expect at least anywhere between 15 to 20 points from these games. I don't know where they're going to come from. We'd have to beat Everton, Leicester, probably Spurs again, which is doable. 9, Arsenal possibly, maybe. So you got the 12, Watford 15. You know, that's where Everton, Leicester, Spurs, Arsenal, and Watford are must wins. Liverpool, City, Chelsea. You know, it is what it is. Look at our run. It was literally like, this is no sympathy here. Of course. But are you in the Champions League, boy? Are you in the Champions League, boy? That's the question. That is the question. Sorry, I didn't mean that. Right. So let me quickly move on. Okay, so December. So this is our Christmas run. So our Christmas run is actually not that bad, and for me, that's encouraging. Our Christmas and January run. So we get a crap October, November, but actually our December and January run is actually not that bad. We played Crystal Palace at home, although we did lose to them last time, but that was the start of the season. Norwich away, Brentford, Brighton, Newcastle, Burnley, and Christmas. So that if United are really on point with those 6 games, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That should be 18 points at least. Same thing going to January. Wolves, Villa, West Ham. Maybe Villa might give us problems, and West Ham at home. But again, should be wins. Should be dubs. Should be dubs. To be honest, should be dubs. You know, if we're serious about winning a title and coming close, then we need to win all our games in December and January, especially if we drop up shot in October, November. But the December to January period, looking at that, looks fine. You know, so we have a horrible October, November, but it's made up by a decent December and January. So, you know, with all the games being played, on top of obviously the Champions League, so the Champions game will be thrown into the mix of it. That's where I think we're gonna get our butter. No, but unlike your trophy, I knew that was coming. As soon as I said those words that left my mouth about Champions League, I knew those words were coming. I knew those words. And touche. All I'll say is enjoy the FA Cup and enjoy the Europa League, man. That's all I'll say, man. Although, you know, I've loved the trophy, Ollie, anyway. So February, Burnley, Southampton, Leeds, Watford. Again, pretty standard. United should be taking at least 10 from 12 of those, beating Burnley, Southampton, and Watford, Leeds. So really, again, it comes to the end of the season. They seem to bunch all of our crappy games together. So in March, we have City, Spurs, and Liverpool all back to back. I'd like to think that we'd be secure top 4 by then, or challenging for a title. But you know, this is United at the end of the day. Then April, Leicester City at home, Everton away, Norwich at home, Arsenal away, Brentford, and then the last game of the season is actually away to Crystal Palace, with Chelsea at home before and Brighton. So that could be, knowing how United seasons have been, that most likely will be a top 4 game. I won't be surprised if that's a top 4 game, to be honest. But we obviously need to do more, and we obviously need to improve. LFC Boy says, how did your final go, by the way? Sit down. I hear what you're saying. Just it is what it is. Fortunately or fortunately, Ollie is still in charge. Depending on how he gets backed, we'll see what happens. But at the end of the day, it's a tough fixture. It's certainly, I think the toughest part of this season looks like it's gonna be in that October, November period of time. But like I said, and like I said at the start of the stream, I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to gas it. I don't want to gas anything. But at the end of the day, the only way United are going to be, in my opinion, competing for any silverware this season is if we get signings. I will be doing a transfer show at some point. Shout out to Hala Madrid. What's good? Is that Vilton? I don't know. I might be Vilton. But yeah, United need signings. And the fact that we've taken so long to sign Jadon Sancho has me worried that we're not even going to have a good, because Sancho is a good signing, but not a necessary signing. It's not a necessary. We need a CDM. We need a centre back. Those are necessary signings, and we're not anywhere near getting those. So we're spending so much time on negotiating Sancho that we're not really, we're not even thinking about focusing on a necessary side. Even the right back Trippier, it's like, oh, let's get Sancho, let's get Trippier. Okay, cool. We've maybe fixed our right hand side if we do that. But the issue this season has been defensively. It's been in the sense of the part a CDM centre back. And the fact that we're not pushing for those has me very, very worried. Especially if United are like, okay, Varane slumps United. Okay, then who's the second choice? I don't even know any CDM that will link to aside from Declan Rice. United need Rice, Varane, Sancho. Okay, Trippier. Okay, fine, we'll ball. Let's play. Let's go. But what it looks like is that United are going to be just content with Ben White, and that for me is not good enough. Not good enough at all. Remember to like the vid, guys. Remember to like the vid, share and subscribe to Red Devil Studio. We're also on Twitch as well, on Red Devil Studio. So please head over and follow us on Twitch as well. I'll be trying to do more watch longs on there now that I have a bit more time. I'll probably do the Euro final on there as well, actually. The first signing we need is a head coach. I've got a lot of Ollie outers on the thing. I will say I'm Ollie indifferent right now. I'm not Ollie in or Ollie out. I'm Ollie indifferent, because right now there's no one really in the market, in my opinion, that I want to come in that would, for me, would do a better job, or who I like, the football that I would like, to be honest. I know I don't want Conte at Manchester United or Simeone. There just isn't. If I was going to go for someone, it would have been Nagelsmann, and he got snapped up by Bayern. Outside of that, I can't think of much else that would push us to actually winning or competing to win major silverware. That's my opinion, though. The only youth player on my screen that looks promising is Hannibal. Ahmad looks good. I mean, if you count Ahmad as a youth player, I think Ahmad looks very promising. I wish he'd get more game time, Ahmad. I want to see more of Ahmad this season. Hannibal as well. Elonga actually looked okay, although I think Elonga and Shortire, Elonga had a few decent appearances towards the end of the season, but I would want to see Elonga and Shortire go on some good loans. They need to go on good loans. Elonga, Shortire need to go on loans. I think Hannibal probably needs to go out on loan as well, because Van der Beek's going to demand more game time. So for me, I want to see more of Ahmed, because Daniel James, for me, should either go out on loan or should be sold, because he's had his chance. And the way I'd set up the front three next season would be Martial and Rashford on the left to compete, then Cavani and Greenwood in the middle, and then Sancho and Ahmed on the right. So the starter should be Sancho, Cavani, Rashford, or possibly Martial. And then you can bring on Greenwood as the number 9 as he works under Cavani, and then you bring on Ahmed for a Sancho, for example. That's how it would work for me. With Daniel James, no one in the squad. No disrespect to Daniel James. Talking to Bayern, it is disgraceful they take players and coach some rivals so often. Well, that's the Bundesliga, man. They are the biggest club in Germany, and at the end of the day, the way that most German models are, unlike the UK, where basically it's just billionaires that buy clubs and just spend tons of money to get big players. In Germany, that's not the case. It's 50% fan ownership. And so the Bayern are obviously the richest club in the Bundesliga, and so as a result, if your model is based on selling players to make money, a la Dortmund, it's inevitable almost. When do you think Rashford will be sitting on the bench at Crystal Palace in 2 or 3 seasons? Rashford is actually in fairness to Rashford, it looks like he's probably going to get surgery on his foot, and he's probably going to be out for half of the first part of the season anyway. So it's interesting that we're talking about Jadon Sancho, but Rashford is clearly injured and clearly playing and being run into the ground, and so you know, he's probably not going to play for at least the first start of the season, which means that Martial will have to come into the left. But then Martial also has injury problems as well and potentially wants to leave. So essentially what we're doing, when in a situation where you're thinking, right, so who's actually going to play on the left wing? Are you going to play Daniel James on left wing and then have, or Lingard, you know, or Pogba? You know, it's, no one's, I don't think, is having this conversation because you're not going to be able to rely on Rashford and Martial next season on the wing for various injury-related issues. And who's a substitute? Most likely Pogba if he's fit, because I think we're going to be insistent on playing him in that left position. And he says he prefers to play box to box. But you know, outside of Pogba, you just have Dan James and probably Lingard. I don't know where Ahmed plays on left, but Dan James definitely, who's Roadrunner, and Lingard is Lingard, as far as I'm aware, is having crisis talks with Ollie. But to be honest, for me, we should be selling Lingard. I love Lingard. I think he's great. Jay Lings, love him. But to be honest, if we could sell him for a good penny and get Declan Rice, I take that. I would say we can get Lingard for 50 million. And use that 50 million to buy Declan Rice, you do that deal. 30, 40, even 30, 40 million. I'd say maybe, yeah, let's say 30 million, 40 million. You do that deal. You get Declan. Because indeed he will be much more expensive. Yeah, I don't know. Right back not priority, but seeing the headline United isn't even going to spend 20 million on Trippier is ludicrous. Well, it is the Glazers. Especially after Joe said that, yeah, that was all that emotional Joe Glazer stuff was just nonsense. Pay no attention to it. It's just airy fairy nonsense that to woo fans. It was absolute nonsense, and it's just balls. Rashford injured and in poor form goes to Euros. Greenwood actually injured and finishes season good form, doesn't go to Euros. Yeah, Southgate is questionable with some of his, I mean, I don't even know why Tomori, for example, got Maguire, for example, is injured. We know he's injured, he's recovering. So why is he in the squad? And say Tomori is not in the squad. If Maguire was fit, he would have started ahead of Mings, but he's not. So why did you pick Maguire and not Tomori? You know, that makes no sense to me. You know, you basically brought 2 Manchester United players that were injured to the Euros. 0 cents. 0 cents to me. Especially when you could have had other players. Maybe you could have bought Ward-Prowse, an extra midfielder. It just makes no sense. Ole Gunnar Southgate. Well, if he wins the Euros, he'll be called the Gate. I think if Southgate wins the Euros, he'll be called the Gate. And if Ole somehow wins the treble, he'll be known as the Gunner. But I doubt those things are going to happen. So so it is what it is. Anyway, guys, I'm off to watch the Italy game. Make sure you check out our Euros Match Day 2 preview, as well as a review of the last match day that's coming up at 10 o'clock British Standard Time. So just over an hour now, actually. Also look at our match reactions. Hope you guys are enjoying those Euro reactions. It's nice distraction away from the club that is Manchester United. And I think there's Copa America on today as well. So stay tuned for that. Have a nice day, everyone, and cheers.